Straight ahead on CTV News tonight, she's Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
The Supreme Court made history today, breaking gender and racial barriers. I'll have a story coming up.
Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News update. A judicial glass ceiling has been shattered. A black woman has been sworn in as U.S. Supreme Court Justice. CTV's Laurentia Moten has that story.
History is made. Ketanji Brown Jackson is the first African-American woman Supreme Court Justice.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Jackson was sworn in this afternoon. She was born in Washington, D.C., attended Harvard Law, and over the last year served as the U.S. District Court Judge. The 51-year-old will replace 83-year-old retiring Justice Stephen Breyer.
Will you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. I, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
That I will administer justice.
that I will administer justice.
Plenty of firsts for Jackson, as she is also the first federal public defender on the Supreme Court. The Senate confirmed her nomination in early April, and now she is the 116th Justice. Laurentia Moten, CTV News. Back to you in the studio.
A new U.S. Supreme Court decision halts the Biden administration's efforts to combat climate change. The court's conservative majority ruled 6-3 that the EPA does not have the authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. The ruling says that regulations capping carbon dioxide emissions are the purview of Congress, not the EPA. The court used the same reasoning it applied in knocking down the Biden administration's federal vaccination and COVID testing rules for employees of large companies. Well, as gas prices hover around $5 a gallon, Marylanders continue to seek relief at the pump. Since a special session to suspend the state gas tax has been taken off the table, many are calling for federal surplus funds to go toward gas tax relief. But Senator Paul Pinsky says those one-time funds have been already allocated to education and police. He also says that the gas tax has to be tied to the rate of inflation or our infrastructure, he says, will suffer.
Would 16 cents or 17 cents a gallon help people for the next 90 days? It would, but I think they need more support than that. And I think that's a very small Band-Aid, and we should look at really doing it on a systematic way to either shift the taxes that they have to the multimillionaires and billionaires, so they have a little tax relief that way. I'm just not sure a short-term fix is really the solution.
Maryland's gas tax is set to increase 18% tomorrow, a 7-cent increase. That means the state's current rate will jump from 36 to 43 cents a gallon. Well, county leaders gathered to celebrate the groundbreaking for a new Suitland High School. It'll take several years to construct, but a new high school facility is coming to the Suitland community. The current campus was built way back in 1951. The new building will host hundreds of students, staff, faculty, along with the Centers for Visual and Performing Arts. County leaders say they are excited for the next chapter of Suitland High School.
This building has served its students well. But we've seen here and around the county that our students are striving towards excellence in spaces that have served our students capably, but certainly need to be upgraded and replaced. And in addition to a long overdue modernizing of our county school buildings, we've seen future projections that say enrollment in our county schools will only increase in the years to come.
For a child in a classroom that's always too hot or too cold, or a science teacher trying to work in inadequate labs, we cannot move urgently enough. Every student in Prince George's County Public Schools deserves to learn and thrive in 21st century modern school buildings. And with the support of our state and our county government partners, we're investing in historic sums in facility modernization and replacement projects across the entire school system.
The school should be up and running by 2026. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 1,716 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's County is 12.14%. 5 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours, and 454 are hospitalized. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Coming up, Weeks after suspending his gubernatorial candidacy, Rashawn Baker is on the campaign trail for Glenn Ivey. That story after the break. Stay tuned.
Why is ambition respected in men and criticized in women? We may think ambition in women is a good thing, but because of a lifetime of cultural stereotypes, we react negatively. That's unconscious bias. But can unconscious bias really limit women's success? Well, when asked to draw a leader, the vast majority of people, both men and women, draw a man. When we imagine positions of power, we erase women from the picture. Today, only 5% of CEOs are women. It's time to challenge cultural stereotypes and outmoded mindsets. The world is a better place when we support one another's ambitions, whatever they may be. Together, let's question the biases that hold people back. Voice our ambition proudly, without apology. Model ambition for our sons and daughters. Our ambition is to challenge double standards to help achieve women's equality. What's yours? I'm Mindy Kaling, and I embrace ambition.
Welcome back. A Prince George's congressional candidate gets an endorsement from a familiar face. Glenn Ivey, who is running for a 4th district seat, received support today from former county executive Rashawn Baker. Baker, who recently suspended his gubernatorial campaign, says Ivey's work on issues such as crime and jobs make him the ideal choice over another of the front-running candidates, Donna Edwards.
Well, here's the thing. I've worked with both of them. And so the ability of working with somebody who's actually helped me reduce crime in Prince George's County, who's actually helped me create jobs in Prince George's County, who immediately can go on Capitol Hill and have the respect on both sides, not just the House side, but the Senate side too. I think in this critical juncture, that's who we need. I trust that Glenn will not only deliver for the district, but deliver for the state. And so that's what I want to see.
So I feel very good about the endorsements we've got because I think it reflects the strong grassroots campaign that we've got, that we built up to this point, and what's going to carry us across the finish line in first place on Election Day.
9 people are running for the District 4 primary on July 19. Well, comptroller Peter Franchot declines to debate his main rivals in the upcoming gubernatorial primary. Franchot is invited to appear on WYPR tomorrow, along with former U.S. Labor Secretary Tom Perez and former nonprofit CEO Wes Moore. The trio are frontrunners, attracting more support than the other 6 candidates. Perez and Moore have slammed Franchot's refusal to appear alongside them. Franchot told Maryland Matters that he will not take part, saying the campaign objects to the radio host's decision to exclude lower polling candidates. Well, he's been a public servant for much of his life. Stanford Frazier first volunteered for a campaign to repeal the death penalty while a student at Howard University. At Harvard Law School, he represented low-income tenants and foreclosed homeowners. Now, Frazier, who has worked the last 5 years as a public defender, is campaigning to become the next council at-large member.
When I was younger, my folks lived in Riverdale. Now they lived by Mitchellville. And like I said, I've clerked on the Court of Appeals, the state Supreme Court, so I kind of know how Maryland laws are shaped and written. I've been a public defender in my day job, but I've also volunteered to help expunge people's criminal records. I've done volunteer work with reentry group, trying to help people get a second chance and get jobs after leaving the prison and jail system.
If elected, what would be your #1 goal right now?
I think I want to enhance public safety by creating public health first responders, because right now our police officers, they're really stretched thin. Right, it's hard to staff because every industry, right, public, private, it's hard for them to hire employees right now. But also our police officers have to respond to, carjackings and Johnny's outside shirtless. But we can send a behavioral health specialist, right, and a nurse to Johnny outside shirtless, get them signed up for Medicaid, get those needs satisfied, so that our police officers can focus on the actual offenses that endanger the public safety.
For more information on his campaign, log on to StanfordFrazier.com. Well, as you finalize your July 4th weekend plans, don't forget that it's illegal to shoot off fireworks in the county. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, nearly 11,000 people were sent to the emergency room last year for fireworks-related injuries. County officials say fireworks like firecrackers and sparklers can be dangerous.
So all fireworks in Prince George's County are illegal no matter what size or length. When you violate that law in Prince George's County, there's a $1,000 fine and or up to 6 months in jail. So any illegal firework use in Prince George's County, we tell the citizens to contact 911 immediately and ask for the county police department to respond. Once the county police department arrives on the scene, they'll make that notification to us for us to come handle the situation.
Shea encourages families to visit official fireworks displays only. And still to come, Maryland watermen face new crabbing restrictions. Stay tuned, details up next.
COVID-19 has changed how we express our faith and gather to worship. We all want to get back to how we pray, how we congregate, how we lift our voices in praise. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to spreading the word without spreading concern. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts. Learn more at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
Welcome back. If you're heading out on a boat this July 4th weekend or anytime, don't forget your life jacket. Maryland National Resources Police are encouraging boaters to stay safe while out on the water. Remember, each boat must have a life jacket for every passenger. Life jackets must be in good condition and easily accessible. Also, police remind you to never drink while operating a boat. For more boating safety information, visit the website on your screen. And with the July 4th holiday around the corner, the American Medical Association and the Centers for Disease Control are teaming up to bring awareness to prediabetes. They say 1 in 3 Americans has prediabetes. More than 23 million over the age of 64 have the condition. And doctors say that it could lead to more serious type 2 diabetes. The organizations say most people who have prediabetes are not aware they have it, which could make other diseases like COVID much more serious.
Having prediabetes and other health conditions put you at higher risk for other conditions, but if you have an existing chronic disease or more than one, the pandemic has shown that when you contract COVID-19, you can have more severe health outcomes that could include hospitalization, use of a mechanical ventilation, being put in intensive care, and unfortunately also death. In fact, those who have type 2 diabetes and contract COVID are 3 times more likely to become severely ill. And unfortunately, in the US, 15% of COVID deaths were among people with diabetes.
Holiday urges people to take a 1-minute risk test. Log on to doihavepprediabetes.org. And if you're planning to ride the Metro on the July 4th weekend, anticipate longer wait times. Currently, Metro is operating with fewer rail cars, so officials say riders may have to wait up to 60 minutes or more, especially after the show's end. Metro encourages you to use stations other than the Smithsonian. Well, Maryland imposes new restrictions on crabbing in the Chesapeake Bay to deal with the rapid decline in the state's crab population. New regulations include the first ever limit on how many bushels of crabs, male blue crabs, watermen can haul each day. Now, at the height of the season in August and September, bushels will be limited to no more than 15. Harvests will also end 2 weeks earlier than normal on November 30th. Existing restrictions on harvesting of female crabs will also be tightened. The state says the blue crab population has decreased to its lowest level since tracking began back in 1990. Sports news. NBA free agency does not begin until later today, but the Washington Wizards wasting no time making trade decisions. The Wizards have traded guards with the Denver Nuggets. Will Barton and Monte Morris will replace Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Ish Smith in the district. Will Barton, the 6'6" Maryland native, will be coming home after playing in Denver for the past 7 years. Both Barton and Morris are good three-point shooters who can help take the pressure off of Bradley Beal if he decides to stay. Well, checking your weather forecast tonight, clear with lows around 72 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny with a chance of thunderstorms. High temps near 92. Saturday, rain likely with highs around 90. And Sunday, partly cloudy. Again, a chance of thunderstorms with temperatures in the 80s. And that's our news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. See you tomorrow. Good night.